welcome to another episode of the Contractors Innovation Podcast, where we examine new ideas and new ways for contractors to lend their experience. And we have a series of guests, and we do our podcast. We've changed our time to be 8 p.m. in the evening because we had a lot of conflicts with people during their workday. Mohammed, his handle is called Sales Bondo, but
Say,
his name is
Mohammed.
Mohammed, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Mohammed. Yes.
So Mohammed, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and how you and I met?
Uh, well, um, yeah, this is actually in my background. If I talk about that, I specifically worked on business development field. I started my journey in UK, area, the UK energy sector, where we used to work with energy brokers. We used to be like subcontractors, brokers. We used to work with the hotels, chains, restaurants, finding them the best deals for their electricity and gas bills, right? Apart from that, later on, we decided to have the shift after the Russia-Ukraine war uh, and everything. So we went into marketing. I'm 24 years old, and I have done various ways of marketing in different niches. I mostly specified in niche specify market where I can understand the dynamics of other businesses, and from there I uh, you know the major thing is that we run business development agency, and like we help technical founders like yours, niche operators, and they're turn their digital expertise into their digital assets. And the major thing is about with whether if it's their authority, their lead system, sales funnel, marketing expansion. I work with industries and everything. So major thing is about positioning has to be strategic, not noisy.
Yeah, I tend to I have a pretty
Mm-hmm.
good network of people, and
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people. I'm older than you, so I've been doing special foundation work since
Mm-hmm.
1982. I'm a civil
Mm-hmm.
engineer and an MBA, but I
Mm-hmm.
understand the marketing of many businesses over those
Mm-hmm.
43 years. So I thought it was interesting that we clicked, and I said, well, why don't you come on the podcast? And
Mm-hmm.
then he assured me he spoke good English, Dante. So Dante Dante actually he's the producer, but I said, well,
Mm-hmm.
you should ask questions and be a
Mm-hmm.
participant, right? Rather than be
Hmm.
in the background. I thought Dante actually asked some pretty good questions from time to time,
Yeah.
and he knows the people, and so he's a professional podcast producer. I would say you'd call him that. And
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
you're in the States right now, Dante.
Yes, I am.
So
Yeah.
tell us where you are.
I'm just out in Colorado, like way up in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. In the mountains, what elevation?
I think it's so Denver they say is the mile high city, but I think I'm another half mile above that. So whatever that is in kilometers.
Dante, you're aware that, and Mohammed, I'm not going to hide this thing, man. You might be aware that we're going to go through a pole shift.
Yes, you've told me.
Yeah. So
Yep.
if you're on a rock and you're at elevation, those are the people that survive.
Oh,
There's a
really?
there's a pole shift every 12,000 years.
Okay.
Um, the movie Disaster Cycle by Ben Davidson is worth watching.
Okay.
And it's there's also another very good movie worth watching called The Human Antenna. So
Hmm.
Mohammed, did you take the vaccine?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so be careful with that because
Okay.
there's reasons why they created that and made every
Mm-hmm.
country do it because there's going to be a pole shift. So the motive for the depopulation that's going on and
Mm-hmm.
the problem with the vaccine is it's graphene oxide. But the product masterpiece, and you and I will stay friends, and I can send you a link where you can order this product. Like the
Hmm.
Chinese party in China ordered $5 million worth, Dante, apparently. So
Really?
I know the company CEO is Matt Hazen,
Mm-hmm.
and it's nano zeolite. So it's the only thing really, if you take 5 drops under your tongue twice a day, it'll take the graphene oxide that you took in the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's in the vaccine. So there is an antidote. That's the good news. And I'm often quick to tell people because I like people. Like I
Mm-hmm.
like you already, Mohammed, and so I have to
Thank
ask
you.
you to be careful with what you did. And then the sad part is, our families do it. And then their
Mm.
families aren't necessarily sophisticated enough to study and watch the videos required to learn what's going on. I don't believe, Dante, you did it. You never did the vax.
Nope.
Brian Takuto, did he get an invite?
He did, but he's at the back room tonight, so he's
Oh,
busy.
okay.
He's got a show.
We sort of have a laugh and learn concept, Mohammed, where we
Hmm.
bring Brian on. He's a construction guy,
Yeah.
but he's also quite with it in terms of he's a stand-up comedian.
Hmm.
Surprisingly sharp, I think, in terms of his. He
Yep.
would
I
ask
did
some.
watch.
Go ahead.
I did watch videos, Brian videos where with the podcast of Brian's, he's
Mm-hmm.
Portuguese and yeah, the background, and then how he shifted from the construction to being a comedian. He also talked about what he did in COVID, how the construction was working, where he started working in high res. So I tried to search you guys first, like I'd also watched some of your podcasts before, so I kind of know that who I'm talking to. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I had a podcast called The Value Engineering Experts,
Mm-hmm.
which did fairly well. It was a built environment podcast, but when I decided to do another one that was new people and more of a theme around contractors, trying to let them tell their story rather than me just talk about my patents.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
what's your ideas about? Let's say you seem to give me some confidence that you had ideas in your company that let's say, how would you affect marketing when we're basically looking at Canada and the US? Like, would you offer that, or would you just say we can talk about theories of marketing tonight, like how your
Um,
firm, um, yeah.
when it comes to marketing, Martin, as I said, that my business development agency or is mostly specified in niche marketing. I have helped multiple businesses in US, UK, Qatar, and Australia, where we work together, and then we work with website creations, social media, advertisements. Building sales funnel, management of communities. I've worked with salons, I've worked with realtors, cash home buyers in different states of US. I have active clients right now, mostly in US. I have a client in Canada, like not a lot, but I do work. It's a beauty supply, not related to your industry, but yes, I actively participate in marketing in US and Canada. I'm well aware of about that, how the trends are, and how you can market it. I also did the research specifically in construction industry before this podcast, so I was able to find lots of podcasts related to construction. Just like one of the guys that I was able to, you guys are regularly posting content over there, so yeah, we can talk about theories and we can also talk about implementations as well, how it can be implemented in a way so that we can we can market uh, your patents to the right people, and not only patents, and we can like how we can create a sales funnel. So yeah.
So
Hmm.
then what would you say your cost structure? Would you say that you can compete with website designers here? Like I have a website designer, it's called Dribble,
Mm-hmm.
Dribble, and I've done a
Mm-hmm.
number of websites with them, and they're fairly good, and you tend to stay with one
Mm-hmm.
supplier. But
Mm-hmm.
the idea of targeting buyers for my patents,
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping to do a deal with the largest foundation contractor in North America
Mm-hmm.
and give them my patents because right now, because of, I think, the real estate situation in the
Mm-hmm.
world and what's going on with the depopulation, I think there's a general problem with housing and
Mm-hmm.
with particularly in Toronto with condos. Condos were a big boom, and now you can't really sell them for what they bought. So people aren't necessarily getting the numbers, but
Mm-hmm.
so the
Uh,
construction industry is depressed. It's depressed. So they need an advantage, which gives me an advantage because I have lower cost structure on my patents, right? Like
mm-hmm.
my waterproof wall is 2 layers of 5-inch shotcrete using Chem Concrete. And I have details which are called feather edges. And so I can create a wall 10 inches thick that interlocks and it replaces what are called secant piles. And it saves $100 a square foot. So it's not hard to sell that to
Mm-hmm.
contractors that want work because they would be the ones that would get the work when I decide, okay, you're worthy of having a deal with me for this for that wall or that wall. Again, the geothermal I think is very interesting. I think your country could use it. Do you have anybody that maybe we could
Mm-hmm.
even form an alliance with some of your customers, to let them understand my technologies. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what do you have that's like do you have anything new? Like what's happening that's new in the world? Because you're really connected to Canada and the US, but other countries too, like your own country.
Yes.
Is
We actively participate in real estate in Pakistan. Okay, we have a
Mhm.
partner firm called RS Holding. They do development for high-rise projects. They also sell those products. They build townhouses. They also sell lands as well. So you're right with this concept here that it has real estate has been depreciating over the years, and with a little innovation, you can certainly find a way for contractors, realtors to find a better way. And I like the idea of connecting with the current customer. That's how you build relationship and communicate. So, and I also would like to integrate the idea of the way that you have been doing your podcast, the way that you have been marketing yourself, specifically your personal branding, Martin. Um, there are some elements that we can work on, and certainly that can leverage yourself as one of the leaders in the industry, right? Um, yeah.
I'm well known in Canada, but
Mm-hmm.
I had a fairly big company, and I got
Mm-hmm.
shotgunned out by a financial guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a bad divorce. It's kind of famous, but I've done some noteworthy jobs, and I'm considered an innovator in Canada, and people in the U.S. are just starting to get to know me. But I thought a podcast was a good way to try and exchange ideas and
Mm-hmm.
but I'd be very interested in following up and having a long-term relationship with you, Mohammed. You seem like a
I
guy that
appreciate.
I could maybe help. I don't know the cost structure. I would think is probably desirable relative to perhaps in your country, your wages are less, correct?
Yeah, compared to US and Canada, the wages are pretty less. The major concept that we talked about is we also talk about outsourcing, right?
Mhm.
Outsourcing with the quality that you can get here, right?
Yeah.
So, you also mentioned that, like, how can I compete with the website designers over here? The design and the market work that we are doing, it has like
Oh,
done.
here's William.
We have,
Good.
yeah.
William is
Sorry,
my
go ahead.
part. William is my partner. It's
Mm-hmm.
somebody wonder why it's not spelled right. Dante. It's like you see how it is, eh?
Yeah, there's an artist that goes by Will I Am, so that could be it.
Oh,
Um,
well, maybe it's that guy, but but he's William.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's got to be William because you sent him an invite, right?
I did, yes.
So when he starts talking, but
Yeah.
he's an expert at concrete. I'll do an
Mm-hmm.
introduction, and we have a company called CH Shawcrete, which is my return to the industry company. And I was going to run my patents through that company when I can create partnerships. Like I had an opportunity to run into a guy I worked with and who hired me in 1982, and he's still around. And again, he's jabbed, and you know, I feel so bad for the people that are jabbed, and we're gonna make sure that you get detoxed. Probably the best thing I'll do for you, Mohammed, is teach you how to take that stuff out of your system. Because COVID was a scam. They called it the scamdemic. So it's really hard now because so many people took it, and it's hard to talk to them about it. They all think um, this is weird. How William, can you hear us? He's not a remote access enabled admin at that. I don't know why that's
William, you may be muted on your end. We can't hear you or see you. Yeah.
I think it is
He's
him.
just listening.
No, he is a quiet guy, but I doubt very much that he didn't hear. Can you send him in the chat? William, check your microphone, check your video. As the host, producer Dante, how would you normally communicate something like that? Hi
Well,
everyone. Hi William. Can you check yeah, there you go. You just wrote the back.
yeah. So there's that way that I just did. I can also see if he sent an email, but I don't see anything currently.
Seems interesting. Well, you invited him, but for some reason
Yeah.
we can't see him. He would know how to work Zoom. He's pretty good technically.
Yeah. If
of
anything, it's from his end, right? Maybe his camera's not set up properly or whatever it may be. I don't know because I don't know his setup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's probably at home, but he could be on his phone. He's working in the east end of Toronto right now, doing civil work. William's an expert at shotcrete, as am I. So we thought we would start a company together and use my patents to get an advantage. It's actually going pretty good, Dante. We have my ex-boss that wants to do something because he can't get any work.
Okay.
And then I talked to a friend of mine, Mike Doucette, who worked on a job with me in the year 2000.
Okay.
And Mike wanted me to go to a Con Expo. I think a lot of people are at Con Expo. But when I said to William, why don't we go to Con Expo? He didn't really want to go. This is a show every year in Vegas.
Yep.
Mohammed. So it's the big construction show down in Vegas. I've been a number of times. And it's nice because it's warm there. You know, California is always nice weather. So do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I
Mohammed?
do have some questions for you. I looked down through everything. So I wanted to understand your current process of doing things right now, because you did mention that you're a pretty experienced guy. So and have experience in the industry, and already said that you are pretty known. So when it comes to your patents, how your sales funnel works, how your overall the CAC looks like, and what's your goal here specifically related to your patents?
Well, I've decided because of the divorces and because of I'm tired of not having money like I used to have money. I decided I would sell my whole book of patents. So
Okay.
my goal is to sell my whole book of patents. The lead horse on that is Keller. Keller's all over the world, but Keller is the largest special foundation contractor after doing quite a number of acquisitions over the last 20 years in North America. So they have received my package, and I have
Okay.
set the price. And I also sent the package to two other large firms, one in Canada and one in California, Malcolm Drilling. So using contacts I have that have gone to work for Malcolm and contacts that I have at Green Infrastructure Partners in Toronto, I try to explain, let's say, have a look at my book of patents because anything's possible. And if Keller is slow at the mark, the best way to get them to speed up their decision making, I think it's just going to their board. It's the first quarter, eh? So you end up making a board decision, board of directors decision, but it's $1.5 billion company. They're the largest foundation company in the world. So I would go work for them and I would help them with the vision of my patents and how they work. They like them. There's no doubt they like them. And some people take patents and they try to just copy them, not respect them. But there's quite a liability to that. If you get, I actually caught Keller trying to use my waterproof wall through a geotechnical PhD named Mehdi. And Mehdi told me when I first met him, he said, I love your patent, the waterproof wall. And I've watched all your podcasts. And it was almost him trying to elevate himself quickly I had introduced Keller to him on a job. He had a big warehouse job in 150,000 square foot steel warehouse in St. Thomas. So I said to Mehdi, I said, why don't you, I'll introduce you to Keller. And then next thing I know, Keller's trying to order Chem Concrete from Sudbury. And I catch them and their legal team not respecting my patent. So then they agreed not to do that. But Mehdi won't face me anymore now because clearly he was trying to do a back run. Now, I don't know. He's Iranian. I don't know if Iranians are less integrity. I'd like to think that Iranians are very smart engineers, though. Here we are facing this war. What do you think of that? You're near it. You're in Pakistan. Is that where you are right now, by the way? Mohammed in Pakistan?
Yes, I'm in Pakistan right now. Yes. We
So
have gone through some wars.
How do you view, you guys have the nuclear bomb, eh?
Yeah.
How do you view Iranian Iran against the U.S.? It would appear Iran has better technology with their missiles. So you would be aware of all this, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
The view of Iran and Pakistan is someone that takes blunt decision. Okay. We have seen like last year or so how Iran and Israel like kind of went through with each other back and forth, and the wars that they've been having. So it's going on and off. We have mixed views of people here. For Iran. Iran was one of the first one that actually accepted the independence of Pakistan, or they accepted Pakistan as a country, whole nation. So we have like a huge. We have. Uh, I know a friend of mine. His father used to do business, gold business, specifically in Iran, and he used to take like a lot of resources here from Pakistan to Iran. Okay, he was in gold business, and that was back in 90s and early 2000s. So in terms of business relationships, there was a good relationship with Iran previously, but right now it's just because of the ongoing war and the sanctions. It's not as it used to be.
Yeah, I
What's the
think
view
it's,
here you have for Iran?
well,
Hmm
my opinion of Iran is that they're the victim and that
hmm
They're very good engineers. The people that invented Chem Concrete are Iranian. It's a world patent. What they created was really a unique product because it's 95% waterproof. Crystalline admixture is 30% waterproof. So when I was trying to get a picture to Dante earlier. You didn't get
I
that
have
picture,
it.
eh?
I have it.
Okay, can you show that right now?
Yep.
And
And also, just a heads up, we have 7.5 minutes.
okay. Hey, Mohammed, this doesn't have to be our last time on a podcast. If you enjoy this interaction and if I can help you in North America, particularly with my own pursuit of marketing. So there's a sample of Chem Concrete. And unlike any other concrete, you can bead water on the sample. This is sort of unheard of because usually the issue with concrete durability is permeability. So if you have water going in, then you get into a freeze-thaw cycle. In Canada, we use air entrainment to help the small bubbles resist the freezing. But this potentially doesn't need air. You wouldn't want to put air entrainment in this, which costs money. And this is quite cost effective. So in your country, they would probably entertain, obviously they're involved in Iran as a home country, but they're all over the world now. And you can see this one is Trinidad and Tobago posting something on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask about that, Martin. So this is from Trinidad and Tobago and specific, like in the Caribbean. Like,
That's
how are they
right.
using it out there in the Caribbean versus like?
Well, I haven't talked to anybody, but
Okay.
the uses of this type of product go to all sorts of structures. So typically it's structural concrete. It's prepared as a slurry. So with a slurry product, you end up being able to use it as a liquid admixture, which is advantageous versus a dry crystalline product. It would tend to be always a little better having a liquid admixture. So this slurry, like I joined the Mining Association, Dante, Canadian Mining, and one of the goals William and I have, or at least my goal, and William's okay with it, is to get into mining. And then in mining, if you take this to mining, most people in mining are working with bagged shotcrete. So if you take the liquid admixture and inject it through a Chem Concrete plant, you can get water at the nozzle, which is mixing all the time with the dry mix. It's almost like a air blower. And the dry, it's called dry mix. And so that's how they ship things into mines. So this would be enabling for mining to produce waterproof concrete, which is going to resist chemical exposure and all kinds of breakdown and have a longer life, much longer life in mines. Everybody uses concrete, and even you can see the potential maybe in this product to neutralize tailings, and obviously tailings management's a key thing. So I joined the Mining Association of Canada, Dante. And I put CH Shotcrete in it. So if you go to chshotcrete.ca, Mohammed, and if you go to chemconcrete.ca, those are my sites, and I'm more of a technical rep. I mean, you can go to Chem Concrete, you go to chemconcretecanada.com or chemconcreteusa.com, and they've got all the literature, all the testing results, and all the the nice pictures, and they have a big team. They're not all men. There's some women, and the women are quite articulate and do good videos. So the idea is that they've got their act in order, put it that way. That's the best concrete in the world. So it's and it's world patented. So the best thing to do is in your country, if you want to introduce them to me or introduce them to the main guy is Sam, but he's open for business. Now, what Boris did in Sudbury is he actually created the process. So they would ship 5 nanotechnology in, which would be powders, and then they have mixing and add water. And then that becomes a slurry with a fair bit of robustness in terms of it's not a wet slurry. It's basically flows like a mud. But that's Chem Concrete, waterproof admixture. Again, 95% waterproof, when the next available product are bigger companies and they're only 35% water. And the 95% waterproofing is what gives it that beaded water effect. So I think what I wanted to accomplish with you, Mohammed, was understand if we could work together a little bit and maybe I could help you. You know, typically when I help people, things go well. There's William. Hey, William.
Hi, William.
Muted.
Absolutely. My goal is not like, to be very honest, the point of this, getting in. First of all, I'm very thankful for you to inviting me to this podcast, Dante, Martin, William. The point is that it is just to build relationships, is to see the best possible way and how I can add value to what you're currently doing, right? The extra added value and how I can contribute more. I work on a concept. It's called BBM. It's called Building Beautiful Minds. I learned this in the university, where it's all about doing, contributing, and focusing on the value. So that has always been my number one goal with my clients and the people that I've been working with. So I will certainly find the best way for us to add value and see how we can leverage from where we are right now.
What education have you had, Mohammed? You're pretty young. You're only 24, so you're just self-taught computer guy? Or did you go to school? Did you go to
I did go.
university?
Yes, I did went to university. I did a couple of courses on personal branding, on brand management. I also worked. I also did a course on introduction to management as well. And apart from that, from the experiences I've learned, I was 17 when I started working. So since then, I've been consistently in business development field. I've worked with business owners across multiple um, continents. I have experience of working with different nationalities, different niches. So I also learned from by talking to the people. Like while he was talking, I had like so many questions that was coming into my mind, and I was like, let me just complete you, and I'll ask you later. So I learned from people. I learned from people like you, where I can see and I try my best to get the value.
We have to try and share more things on the podcast, Dante? You shared the puck, I think, before Williams was on, but can you share it again?
Sure. Yep.
And then, are you able to keep a library of previous shares? Remember this picture, William?
Yeah.
This one is Trinidad and Tobago. So, but
looks like a conference though of some kind they're doing. So is it the same puck they just take around to different spots?
Oh yeah, I think so. I think that picture is just Chem Concrete's picture, and they just share it everywhere. It's not like a different picture, but Trinidad and Tobago. So that's a long script, William. I couldn't get the whole thing, so Dante was having trouble. You can't open up LinkedIn, eh, Dante?
I have LinkedIn and I have an account, but the link that you send me, I sent you a screenshot. It wasn't available. But we figured it out. We have the picture here now.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's a quick thing to, I remember I can take my own photo and then right away I can share that.
Yeah.
But I think Sam's business is doing well, William. And hey, William, have you had a chance to fax the MTO?
No, I haven't. I'll do that.
Do you have a fax machine at your house?
Yeah.
So your brother must have, right?
No, I have one here.
Okay. That's
but you
good.
You can fax it right from your computer nowadays anyway.
Well, you're a better tech guy than me. But she needs to get that if you could. I mean, it
But I
probably
have her.
could.
I'll just email it to her. I have her email.
Yeah, I thought they didn't give emails to people, but I thought maybe the government wasn't wanting her to be bombarded by email.
No, she
Um,
gave me her email.
okay, so just copy me if you could, and ask her if she wants to do a podcast. Everybody's eligible for
No,
podcasts, William.
she won't do a podcast. That's for sure.
No, I'm fearless about. But I guess the question is, MTO is the Ministry of Transportation for the highways in Ontario. They're well known. A lot of things that happen in Ontario, Mohammed,
Mm-hmm.
the rest of Canada kind of follows because Ontario is the biggest province, Toronto's the big show, and Canada is a very interesting country. You know, what we're trying to do is network people. I've got some opportunities now with, I was telling William, I think earlier, that Mike Doucette with a shotcrete company in Vancouver is looking for ways to try and do work for some profit. Well, the way to do that is to get involved with my waterproof wall because it saves $100 a square foot over secant piles. It replaces blindside waterproofing. When you do this concrete, Mohammed, you end up with two 5-inch layers of what are called shotcrete. Are you familiar with shotcrete, where you spray the nozzle and it's almost
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a paste? So when you do that, William's an expert at finishing. A lot of his men in his past, he used to do final wall, where you actually do a steel trowel. But most of the work we do is wood float, which is an expression of finish on a shotcrete wall. And I think it's one of my better patents, although the best patent I have is my geothermal FEBTU cell. So we can, if you can become a regular guest,
Mm-hmm.
co-host, and help Dante learn a few tricks, we can give you the same thing Dante gets. Maybe we could do one of those deals with Dante.
Mhm.
You know, money's a little easier for me these days, but the idea would be to, you know, how Paul Beckwith asked for money to be on the show.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, I think this fella here, he might add a lot of value to your podcasting, and
Yeah, I mean,
add value to my world relative to
marketing is important. It's an important aspect. So anytime I get to learn from someone that's in the marketing field and industry, like always happy to learn that skill because it's super important, you know, just almost everything needs marketing, you know.
Mohammed.
Absolutely.
Pakistan must be generally it's not a third world country, but it is not on the same level of people don't make the same amount of money as they do in the Canada and the US, do they?
Uh, it depends on the industry that you're in, to be very honest. Um, when it comes to real estate, Pakistan does have a huge market of real estate over there. I personally have worked on projects where we have worked on, 3D modeling specifically for high-rise buildings. And then we market that project in a way so that we was able to like sold that 20-story building in like 1.5 year or 1 year max, which included shops, apartments, so, and it's not just one project here. So, Martin and William, Dante, you already have like much experience. So, the point is that the strategies always needs to be correct, and it's all about understanding what's being done in the market that people are leveraging from, and what kind of advantages that you can get from there. For example, as of right now, AI is pretty leveraging right now. So most of the content creation and everything, production companies, big people, where they are spending like tens of thousands of dollars, they're spending $2,000 and create an AI content that just maybe not even couple thousand, maybe in some $100, they can create that ad creatives, which is a lot better, has a great direction where you don't have to hire lighting, cameramans, and then it's all about adapting with the current situation of the market, right? So that's
Right.
how you attract masses, that's how you attract lots of people. Um, We have done a lot of work in content creation, specifically in AI. We are using AI in different ways. We have done
Well, which
website.
which program do
Mhm.
you use? Which program do you use?
Uh, we use different tools for AI. There are tools like Cdance, Kling, VEO. They are pretty much famous. And by using those tools, we create videos. If you don't mind, like I can show you the videos and everything that we have worked on, so you guys can
Yeah,
have like the. Okay.
go ahead if you want to share some.
Yeah, I'll stop my
Okay.
share and then we'll.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me just pull that up. Give me just a second, guys.
William, much work you got out east, by the way, William?
Oh, there's I could probably get like 10 years worth of work there if I want.
What's the project?
The nuclear plant, the new mini nuclear plant.
Oh yeah, that's big, eh? Now
Yeah,
the small nuclear. Um,
yeah.
Andre does nuclear. He's a heat exchange engineer.
Oh
He
yeah.
works at Pickering and Darlington. Those are
Oh,
big
okay.
plants.
Yeah, yeah.
Andre's an engineer with us, Mohammed, who's
Mm-hmm.
mechanical masters, and he's been very useful on the heat on the complements on the my
Yeah.
FEB2 cell geothermal heat exchanger. That's my
I
best
mean,
patent
yeah, since
ever.
like last week, I have watched like a bunch of podcasts of yours, and I've seen like you have, invited so many guests with different industry experiences, and with that, like it just showcases the kind of reference that you have and the connections that you have with people in your industry and outside of your industry. So yeah, let me just share my screen. I've just pulled
Okay.
up there. Okay. Okay, so this is the AI video portfolio that I have. I hope you guys are seeing the screen.
I can see you, and but I double click things there. Okay.
Can you
Yep.
see that, Dante?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so there are some, for example, this video specifically was created for cash home buyers. Okay, and this is all AI.
A house tells a story of the past, but with vision, every house can have a future. Beyond the walls and the mess, every corner tells a story of possibilities waiting to unfold. It's a vision brought to life through ideas, vision, and effort. And just like that, a vision becomes reality. It's not just a house, it's a future secured. This is what we do, making homes, making futures.
And that's just the one of the videos that I have in the portfolio.
Mhm.
We have experience of different niches. Specifically, if I talk about this one, this jewelry video, like if you
And
shoot a video like that, it would take you a day or two shooting, hiring a model, and then cameras and everything.
and sorry, you said which programs was this one?
I'm sorry.
Those
Which programs? You said you mentioned C Dance and VEO it's called?
Yeah, VO. This
Okay.
one is in VO. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. We use tool free pick, right? Where when you're using free tools like free pick, Higgsfield, you have bunch of options to go with, and there are a bunch of tools that you can use to create these kind of photos and make sure that the face is consistent and everything. This is all AI, by the way.
Yeah.
She's young.
She's AI.
When you say she's AI, what does that mean? It means that AI what got the picture from somewhere
Artificial
strange.
intelligence.
Yeah, I
Yes.
know it, but
Mm-hmm.
Computer
So
generated. So the
yeah.
computer just molds it together from
from other
from
experiences,
scraping the web from
yeah.
How AI works is there's a very, it's kind of frightening as well, but how it is, it's all about how you use it. It totally depends on how you use it. When you talk about AI specifically, this with AI, you can have like a lot of inputs. Most of our chats and most of our the emails that we communicate, it is generated by AI. We use their it helps to do some certain task where we increase the productivity, right? Because there are some certain things that a human can do, and there are limitation with human, and I'm sure there are so many things that AI can help in construction as well. Okay, so this is just one of the thing that uh, there are so many videos. If I like started showing it, then I might take all of your time. I don't want to take time in the podcast
No, it's
specifically
good.
showing.
It was good to get a little taste of it,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
we don't have to cover it all tonight. But
yeah.
maybe it'll be a constant. What's new with AI from Mohammed if you decide to join us on
We'd
the
have to
journey.
do
Um,
a new podcast every 5 hours. What's new with AI?
well,
I mean,
we're gonna go one a week,
For
one a
sure.
week for an hour, and once we figure out why my Zoom is not being accessed properly,
Yeah.
because I pay for Zoom, so I can have
Yeah.
a longer Zoom. I don't have to
Mhm.
start and restart. But that's something
right.
that I think Ken was going to come one more time.
Yeah.
Ken Lark from Micro Age. And,
Okay.
but it's martin.hallowell859@gmail.com. I never use that. I use martinh@footprintengineering.ca. And I think that's how you get into my computer, is it not? Dante, how do you get in? When you
I
remote
believe
in,
that's yep, I remember. Yeah, I believe it's that one.
so when you use martin.hallowell@859.gmail, because Ken said to me, "Are you sure that's the right email?" And now
Yeah.
I figured out it's not.
Well, I
Right.
think the email for the computer is different from the Zoom, which is why it was having that issue syncing.
Right. So the error that we were getting on Zoom.
Yeah. Hmm.
But if you try martin.hallowell
Yeah. So that's what we'll try next
859
time.
at gmail.com. It'd be nice to see if we can make it work because
Hmm.
I've got unlimited Zoom on then.
Yeah.
Like I could go an hour and a half in a row rather than the
Hmm.
interruption we just had. But all things in time. I don't intend to stop this podcast. I think the idea of a contractor's innovation podcast, the name came to me as, many things, Mohammed, in construction are done by people who do work with their hands and do work with. So if we can create
I
the
agree.
lessons, right, from many experts, then
Right.
that's where, and often the contractor's the expert. I mean, obviously you have engineers like myself that have expertise, but I relied on the men all those years. So
Right.
often, and William knows that, he's been in formwork and finished shotcrete. Um, so CH Shotcrete is our website, Bob,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and chemconcrete.ca. William and I have that website too. So what we're trying to do
Right.
is represent in Toronto the product for the guy that's got Canada. And I'm openly copying him now, William, relative to,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not hiding it, right? I mean, when we took chemconcrete.ca, if you go to that, it says that CH
Mm-hmm.
Shotcrete is the rep.
Mm-hmm.
I told you I talked to Cementation today, William,
yeah. Yeah.
he says there's been no work in Goderich.
Oh
And,
no.
but he was quite interested in what I had to say about Chem Concrete. So his name's Ryan Lyle, and he just hasn't been called to do any grouting or whatnot. Keith has gotten involved with a new type of MST bar. I think it's called VROD or something. It's out of Quebec. Have you heard of them?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they say it's better than MST rebar because MST rebar has a residue that's unsafe. And VROD has got a better QA on that. So they've got all types of anchors and they're quite big in the States. So if we were to get, let's say, the MTO, he says that they're specified for MTO, but I thought MST rebar was specified for MTO. They probably
Well, they
allow
might,
two.
yeah, they
Two,
probably spec both of them.
Yeah. Be interested when you get through to MTO. But any way you can, William, take it on your own, copy me or you know, we basically should go see her in person. We can. And I don't think you're going, I'm sure. So this nuclear is the what do they call them when the nuclear plant's small? Is that what
Mini
you're
nuclear
thinking?
reactor.
Yeah. I was watching some stuff on that recently. It seems like the new technology, safe.
Wow. I didn't really think it was like when I was looking at it, the designs and stuff, I was like, it's not really that mini. I thought it was going to be like a mini coming out of like a ship or something like that, right? Like, or a submarine mini nuclear reactor, right? But it's actually pretty big. So
Like how many, like is it like 5 acres?
no, it doesn't take up 5 acres. It probably takes up 2.5 acres probably.
Yeah.
And then they're supposed to build 4 of them there, so we'll see how that goes.
So like they would do 50,000 houses or something like that?
No, one reactor does 300 houses.
Okay. So, well, obviously a lot of potential, and they say they're fairly safe too, huh?
No, well, they say they're safe, but the design is that we're building a foundation, and then they're building like the foundation has the ability to flood it in case something goes wrong. So
Mhm.
you can flood the whole foundation and then fill the whole thing with concrete if so the reactor's basically underground,
How deep?
which is they're not that deep, probably 20 meters or so.
Well, that's pretty deep.
So
So they have to do a shoring shaft.
yeah,
They do it with caisson wall.
caisson wall shaft, yeah. Yeah.
They should
But
sell them.
I thought that the reactors would be not in one location like Pickering or Darlington or Bruce or whatever. I thought the reactors would be you build a town and you put a reactor in it, and then that reactor feeds the town, right?
Yeah.
That's how I thought the design was. Like this design, because now you got to run transmission lines everywhere, which is crazy.
From a remote reactor or
Yeah,
from,
well, the reactor's down by the lake, and then you're running transmission lines all over Ontario to feed the communities, right? Whereas if you could design the community with the reactor right beside it, everybody in that community would have the power right there, right?
maybe it's just
So it can
not
supply to 300
not my
houses.
backyard thing, eh? 300 houses. Go ahead, Mohammed.
Yeah, I was just asking. So you're saying that it has the capacity to do it for 300 houses.
Right.
Wow. Okay. Is it a lot or is it this or that's like the normal thing
No,
with this technology?
this is the mini nuclear reactor. So the mini nuclear reactor has the ability to service
Hmm.
300 houses, right? Whereas the
Okay.
large reactor can service a lot more. I think 1,500 houses or whatever. The large reactor can.
Okay.
The old can-do reactors can do that.
Okay. That's good.
So, like, my thinking was that they would, have a community and then you would build a reactor in that community, right? And then,
Okay.
so say you were in Sault Ste. Marie or somewhere up north or something, right? You build a reactor right there in the community and they have the power. They don't need all these big transmission lines running all over Ontario, right? Or all over your country, right?
Mhm.
Right. Right.
Right? Because all the power, all the cables could run underground in that community,
Yeah.
right? So,
Okay. I thought this was being done, in this part of the world there, because over here there are some in Pakistan we do see that there are some areas where we don't see where we see underground wirings and everything.
mhm.
But is it something related to what you're talking about, this nuclear reactor, or is it different?
No, it's different in the fact that it's the first mini nuclear
Okay.
reactor being built in North America or anywhere in the
Okay.
world for that matter. I think it's the first mini nuclear reactor,
Mhm.
which to me, I was like, really? Because they're in subs, they're in, warships. Nuclear reactors are all over the place, right?
Right. Right.
So, so, but I guess it's the first one to power residential homes, I guess. So,
Okay.
yeah,
That's good.
I, I
You
was, I
hmm
was a little
Go.
bit, I was thinking, oh, it's just going to come in a big sea can. You're just going to plop it on the site. You can build your bunkers around it, plop it on the site, and away you go, right?
Hmm.
What are you were doing for them, William? Are you like just a super, or are you
No,
doing
no, no. I'm like,
project?
I'm kind of like a middle manager that's helping them with design and all the utilities around the site and stuff like that, helping them with design for the new reactors, the 2 to 4 reactors, because they're doing number one right now. So
So flat thicknesses, formwork.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But a lot of the guys are out of Quebec. Like I don't know how it's a Quebec entity that's running engineers and stuff like that are all out of Quebec. So they're bringing all their Quebec companies.
Okay.
Anyway,
Just
Keith is pretty high on this. You run out of time again, Dante?
yeah, we just above 7 minutes.
Okay. So it's been a good session. Mohammed, think about how we communicate. I guess we can write a few emails together, but if you want to come on this next week, and we'll continue to dialogue, and you can be a co-host, or you can be almost like William is invited anytime because he has so much experience. But
Mhm.
your experience is just in a
Right.
different area, right? So we would
Right.
hope to teach you and have you feel comfortable with us. Again, Brian Ducato is usually here and on Laugh and Learn concept, a comedian. And
hmm
we've had some pretty good engineers on here. I have associates that work with me. If you go to Footprint
hmm
Engineering, you'll probably see some of them. And again,
hmm
I think I'm pretty close to making the deal, sell my patents. But that doesn't mean
Okay.
that I'll stop my podcast. It just means that
Okay.
I'll have more money. So, sure.
So you can retire.
Yeah. I'll never retire, William. You're not gonna retire, right? How old are you, William?
No, I just turned 58 now.
Yeah, so you're not that much younger than me. You just look younger. Chinese guys, are you Chinese, William? You're
Yeah,
Chinese.
yeah.
Yeah, so they don't have any gray hair. Like I'm like an English guy, so I have gray hair. But anyway, Mohammed, it's been a
hmm
real pleasure meeting you, and I think we have some potential to negotiate something where you come back. I mean, come back next week and but you know, if we're gonna give you any
hmm
compensation, you have to get specific, right? So I think there'd be some value to having you involved because you're almost like a consultant, right, in terms of your role. And I think you would add value to what I want to do is get on Instagram and get on things that and have Dante and you work together to increase the subscribers. Like I'd like to have 50,000 subscribers, let's say, in a year. That might be possible. I'm going to do one a week. So, but it's your idea of having shorts and editing shorts would be interesting. So
Absolutely.
Dante could give you access, I guess, to doing those shorts, Dante?
Yeah, I mean, we'll just hop on a call or something like that. We'll have like a Word document, whatever you need. And then I guess you'll know like which shorts are good for virality and marketing purposes and stuff like that. And we'll cut them out and post them up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 40-minute long video, and you can find a lot of things. When you have guys like Martin, Dante, William, and Brian's, so you can have like a lot of things to play around and then create something out of it. You can just take one clip from there, one clip, and then create something good. Just like you see podcasts from, there are so many famous podcasters where they talk about in general. I do think that our podcasts are more specifically niche oriented, right? That way we are capturing a certain number of people. But I can certainly come up with a strategy which can help us leverage more. And then, like you're saying, 50,000. If we do with the right strategy,
5,000 would be maybe a year. Maybe 3 years we get 50,000. Whatever you think is possible, but Brian has some pretty good ideas too. He did some things on shorts with Instagram. Dante, I don't know if you saw them.
Yep.
And so he's got an energy that is useful for marketing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Loud.
Yeah. So
I don't know if I like this going to his stand-up comedian things, but just because I don't like going to bars anymore. I don't drink anymore. So
yeah.
But the bars are always I don't think they get paid a lot, but you got to start at the bottom, if you're a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, you have to start at the bottom, and it takes a long time to start getting paid, and then to even get paid enough to like make it your full-time living. Like, especially in Canada, very few people, it's just because like we don't have the audience the way America does, right? So like, in America, you can just go to shows. There's lots of shows, and they pay them because, maybe there's 5-6 shows a night, and maybe you'll do 5-6 shows, and you'll get paid a nice chunk of change for one night. But in Canada, you got to do one show here, then you got to drive across town, maybe do another show, and the shows aren't as big. They're farther apart, so the checks aren't going to be as big. But some Canadians, they do make it to where they're making money off of it, and they do that full time. So yeah, it's all about, I guess, time, consistency, and hard work.
Yeah, not unlike any industry or any profession.
Well, there's
Anyway,
quite a few funny Canadians, right? Like,
Yeah.
John Candy,
Yep. A lot of the best
Mike
comedians are
Myers, all
Canadians.
those
Yeah.
guys, right? Like,
Yeah. But the thing is, they have to go other places a lot of the time in order to like get recognition, because America does have the machine of like show business that is just not as big in Canada. So like, Canada has a lot of funny people. Some of the funniest people come from Canada, but just to be seen, they have to go to America. Yeah.
Dante, can you make this so it looks like one podcast? Like you'll edit it?
Yeah. I'll
we won't be talking a little bit of the minutes thing, come back thing, if you don't want to edit it out, but I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah, I'll do it. That's no problem.
And then Mohammed will be a good source of ideas now. But if you want to be a co-host, Mohammed, I don't know, we can work something out over time, but I think the idea would be if the numbers grow and you're a co-host, then it becomes a useful vehicle. Your company, right?
Yeah, and
becomes
just,
more
we have under a minute now. So
easier to say, you know, what you represent and to get business from. You know, like you should probably have your phone number on that. Instead of saying sales Bondo, maybe change your name. I think Mohammed would be good. But what do you have on there? You just have your name, Dante?
yep.
You got our logo in the back. Anyway, thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Nice meeting you, Mohammed. And
Thank you.
Right.
Nice meeting you too, William. Nice meeting
All
you,
All right,
Martin.
nice meeting you.
reach out anytime.
Nice meeting you, Dante.
Have a good one.
Okay, bye.
Have a good
Baby, I need to know